Hi, this is WELS Southerner. The title of my little screed today is Our Decadent Education System, a Lutheran Response. The following is not a call to political action on the part of Lutherans. This little message is about the education of Christian children and not political activity. Lutherans are free to follow their consciences as far as activism goes. In a span of about 2 or 3 years, there have been school shootings by so-called transgenders, people who have been assigned by God as being of a certain sex in the womb, but insist they are something else. Our neighbors in the major media, who have various political agendas, have done their best to hide the fact that such people can be violent. One such alleged shooter wrote a transgender manifesto document, but the authorities, once again for obvious reasons, have suppressed this manifesto in order not to embarrass the so-called transgender community. Something like 18% of young people 18 to 13 identify as transgender. From whence comes this nonsense? I believe it all starts with our public schools. As the years roll on, sex ed has gotten more and more frank and explicit. All this in response to the gradual secularization of education in the U.S. Let me give you one important data point. The first nationwide sex education program was carried out by the communistic atheist regime of Bela Kun in Hungary, 1918 and 1919. Thankfully, the good Christian people of Hungary made sure Bela Kun was in power for only 18 months. The level of sexual liberation propaganda in the public schools is at an all-time high. Public education is more oriented toward agitation and propaganda than the acquisition of knowledge. If you are a Lutheran parent, it is your responsibility to protect your children from this. The best way, if possible, is to take your child out of the public schools altogether. If parents have the financial resources to send their children to a private religious school, then they should do so. Even if a child is going to a private religious school, the parents must ask a lot of questions about the nature and extent of sex education in the school under consideration. Catholic schools used to be free of this junk, but one finds, sadly, that many of these schools dabble in transgender and homosexual propaganda. The same with schools affiliated with churches of the Protestant mainline. Those who cannot afford private schooling, which means most of us, should consider homeschooling or a rigorous program of counter-propaganda in the home. As awkward as it might be, have age-appropriate discussions on transgenderism and homosexuality in the home, along, of course, with family Bible reading and devotions. For God's sake, children need to see both parents going to church with them every Sunday, excepting emergencies. Studies have shown that when both parents are frequent churchgoers, particularly the father, it is unlikely that a baptized child will go apostate. By all means, if you're confused on what to do, speak with your pastor. The Lutheran tradition of good pastoral care is a wonderful thing. Take advantage of it. This is WELS Southerner, signing off.